Nothing is going to change. Everything will be fine. Don't worry. Be happy. Like each one of you, last 1 month, a little over 1 month, I have been confined to my house. Uh, no office, no writings, no books. Of course, a lot of webinars, a lot of WhatsApp messages. I've been going through quite a bit of the social media and educating myself. For the first few days, it is simply uncertainty. Even now, there is a good degree of uncertainty uh, up there. But I think things are going to fall in place. Many times people ask me, what is going to happen to HR in future? For some time, I was not sure. I kept thinking about it. In fact, I was more tempted to remind our HR friends about the responsibilities that we have during the COVID-19 time, and coronavirus has struck the entire world. And I wrote a couple of videos and put up, I think, some posts talking about how to use your time productively when you are at home. Also, the kind of responsibilities HR has to themselves, to their family, to the society at large, to their organization, and particularly to the employees and other stakeholders in organizations. A few days ago, I was asked to give a webinar. I was simply clueless and I refused it, saying that I have nothing to give. Whatever I have been putting it in post whenever I have an opportunity, I have a point, I have an insight, I have some knowledge and wisdom. And of course, I've been learning a lot from other people. Finally, I have agreed for the Calcutta-based HRD, NHRD and 2020 group to give a web talk this evening. And I kept thinking, what do I tell them? I suggested a topic of revisiting HR and its future based on the thoughts that I have been expressing so far. Those of you who are following my thoughts in the last 1 year at least, a good part of these are available in my video prepared for the Chennai National HRD Network Conference, which unfortunately I could not attend. That was the time when I was to go and get my heart checked, and therefore I couldn't make it there. But I sent a 13 minute video, which I don't think the HRD network there had an opportunity to play it. They only played my good wishes, but not the detailed one on reinventing HR, repositioning HR and things like that. I would strongly recommend you to go through this. When I revisited what I have said, I prepared in fact a PowerPoint presentation for that, which I could not use. When I went through that, I am amazed at what has been stated in that particular PowerPoint and the video. I talked of the future of HR in the changing organizational context. And what is the changing organizational context? First thing I suggested was that the organizations will become hierarchyless. There will be flat organizations. And there will be movement more from fixed jobs to project-based kind of jobs. That means temporary work is likely to go on in a big way. So careers will probably get reduced, and job shifts will keep changing. People will keep moving from one function to another, whether they are so-called qualified in that particular function or not. For example, marketing people joining HR joining marketing, or production people joining supply chain joining HR, and things of that kind. These are some of the, in other words, it says skills can be acquired fast, and skill acquisition does not anymore limit you in terms of moving in an organization from one function to another, or if there is anything like a hierarchy, and of course I predict that there will be less of emphasis on hierarchy, moving up the hierarchy. I also said that the emphasis on self-learning is going to increase. Now, all these kind of things that I have talked of, not as predictions, but the kind of things that are likely to happen in the next 10, 15 years in organizational future. What has COVID 19 done? COVID 19, in my view, has shrunk what should happen in the next 10 to 15 years into maybe a few months. I think organizations are not going to be the same again as before in the next few months. But what will they be? We're not totally in for a new surprise. What will they be is like what they could have been if COVID 19 didn't occur, maybe 10 years from now. Now, this realization comes because I think COVID 19 has demonstrated that when you have an uncertain virus for which even the scientists are struggling to find out the way to cure it, the way to control it, and there are a lot of trial and errors. Of course, there is some wisdom like washing your hands, keeping social distance, and things like that. But there is still a lot of uncertainty. I am sure in the next 2 to 3 months the uncertainty will go away and the life will be same again. Now, when this uncertainty has struck, one thing becomes clear, that God has created all of us as equals. It doesn't matter whether the Prime Minister of a country, President of a country, whether you belong to one party or another political party or one religion or the other, the nature does not distinguish. This is because we have all come from nature and we go to the nature. After all, I think when we were born, we were perhaps maybe a 3 kilo or 7-8 pound babies. And when we were conceived, I think it was even smaller. Where has our body and soul come from? The body and soul, particularly the body, is nothing but came from the nature. It's the earth, Mother Earth, water, air, maybe sun, maybe space, all these things put together. So that is how when we go, we vanish into the thin air. We become a part of the nature. So we are a part of the nature. All of us are a part of the nature. These distinctions by virtue of caste, community, economic status, what kind of positions you have, what kind of religion you belong, what is the society, which country you were born, etc., etc., are all artificial. They are matters of chance. There is no distinction between one human being and another human being because we are all made of the same metal. Then why have we created all these distinctions? Somebody is a managing director, somebody is a chairman, somebody is a board member, somebody is an unskilled laborer, somebody is a migratory worker, somebody is a daily wage coolie, somebody is from a lower caste, upper caste. I think all this is nonsense, utter nonsense. I think what COVID-19 teaches us is this is utter nonsense and we have to relive, replan, rework, relook at our organizations. Look at the organizations. Every organization is meant to serve people. Glorious ways of serving people. Whether you manufacture aeroplanes, automobiles, or you manufacture ships, manufacture Cadbury chocolates, manufacture Amul milk, you make anything that you are making, whatever you are manufacturing, it is meant to serve people. Service is the first important thing. But we have added a value for service or for the products which we call as rupees, dollars and other forms of currency and started measuring in the form of profits how much money you have make, forgetting that this is something which we have created ourselves. American dollars, euros, pounds of UK, Indian rupees, Sri Lankan rupees, Bangladeshi rupees, Nepali rupees, Thai bahts, whatever currency you talk of, this is all artificially made by us. And we started giving values, created markets, created a whole lot of things. Coronavirus has taught globally that no one is superior to anyone else, whether you are a country or by skin or by religion or by anything. We are all equal. I think this has a significant lesson for those people who claim to be HR professionals. If you are a HR professional, this is the most important truth that strike you deep into your heart and to your head, that all people are equal. Now, once you understand this, all your motivational theories probably will have to be reformulated, rethought of. Organizations have to be restructured. Organizations, CEOs, CXOs, everyone has to be reoriented to see that the ultimate purpose of an organization is serving people, and you have to come up with a new currency of what is the extent to which you have served people, how well you have accumulated in the service of human beings in general, and so on. But friends, let me assure you, this is not going to happen. 2 months from now or 3 months from now, life is going to be same again. We'll struggle for the next 3 to 4 months. We'll go into making up for what we have lost in the last 2 to 3 months. The quarterly reviews will begin again. The monthly reviews will begin again. The annual performance targets will begin again. Maybe in a year's time, by about December 2020, we are back to square one. When you are back to square one, HR will also be back to square one. I hope, and certainly hope, they will not be back to square one, at least the HR profession. The HR profession should internalize the lessons from COVID-19 or coronavirus and should dive deeper into themselves and say that I am not the same HR professional today as I was earlier. I respect every human being. First, of course, as I have been saying, your own safety is very important. I respect myself, because I am a talented person. I am born with very much of a talent. I am a possibility. I can make many things happen. And I will show to the world that I can make many things happen by helping people to discover what are the possibilities. Every human being is a possibility. If Corona strikes, I think maybe it takes a longer time than what we have done before, but we will find solutions. It is human being. We'll come out of this economic crisis, that is human being. So therefore, my HR friends, human is a possibility. Human being is great, born talented, and crisis situations test your talent. These will go away. But when these go away, don't come back to square one and start with your usual way of recruiting people, looking at the kind of competencies you have looked for, and start all over again with succession planning, performance targets, and things of that nature. Reorient yourself with respect for the human being. When you respect a human being, even if you use KRAs, etc., I think the way you look at people is entirely different. You respect them. You don't condemn somebody who has not performed a particular task at a given point of time and throw him out. You will start searching for the deeper talent in the person. You will start really treating a human being as a possibility, and if the person has not measured up, you will start asking yourself a question that where have I gone wrong? Why am I not able to get the best out of this particular person? What should I do to discover the talent in him? If I do not have the capacity to create opportunities for him to explore his own talent, can I help this particular person at least to find out ways and means and not condemn him? So friends, this creates a totally new role for HR people. So human is a possibility, and if you believe that human is a possibility and not merely a resource and an infinite possibility, our entire orientation to our HR has to change. And I want you to think with your heart and with your mind and become a new HR professional, who is self-liquidating, who believes every person he comes across or she comes across is a human being.